As you talked about it last night, but just how are you feeling going into the Toronto game, and what kind of needs to
we're
change?
moved on from last night. Everything's been on the table this morning, and so we're now focusing on the next one, which we've got to be better. We acknowledge that.
I know he's been out of the lineup the last 2 games, but what did you make of Soucy in his first few with the team?
I thought he was good. I thought, he's working. I think he's working to get up to speed on the system, and I think sometimes when you're thinking a little bit too much, it slows down a little bit. So just getting some practices, watching some games, getting an understanding, of how we want to do things, I think will help with that processing speed and getting things done.
In your experience, does it sometimes take a little longer for defensemen to kind of adjust post-trade than forwards?
I don't know if it's a one swipe of the brush paints all.
Yeah.
I think it's probably different and goes person to person, and maybe how long you were entrenched in a system doing one thing one way and now you're going to try and do it a different way, or if you've had any experience before, how comfortable you are in your surroundings or environment. I don't know if it's, you can just say, that's a hard fact. I'm not sure.
Peter, what are you looking for the next game, more from the team?
Well, we got to work better than we did last night. We got to lead with more speed and attitude than what we did last night. We weren't good enough. So, like I said, we addressed those things and we're moving on.
Peter, is there a randomness? I mean, it seems like there's been several games where they fall into the trap of struggling to advance pucks, the neutral zone turnovers that showed up a lot last night. Is there anything that you can identify as far as, it comes at a time where maybe they have tired legs, it comes at a time where maybe, it just seems like it's kind of random when games like that pop up.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a crystal ball and you knew in advance, you certainly would hit that even harder. We did, we talk about the things that make us successful, and I think we played a better brand of hockey for the last 4 games with a couple of disappointing results because it didn't go our way, but the guys were doing the right things and giving ourselves a chance to be successful. And so if you'd known in advance about last night, you could have done something different, but you address it as it's going through the game, and you're trying to address it on the bench in between periods, and it just never really changed.
Is this just part of the DNA of some of the players that sometimes they fall into that kind of east-west mentality instead of playing more direct?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it had to do with just, again, the decisions that we made with the puck, the way we defended, our work that we did inside of the game. It had dropped from the previous games.
What do conversations kind of look like with Igor about his workload, and how often are you in communication with him about kind of how his body's feeling?
Obviously, there was more communication on the back-to-back. When it's not a back-to-back, I feel like he's in a good spot.
I know you said you want to forget about it.
Yeah, let's move forward.
But did you see anything from the line change that you made late in the game that you remember
No.
sticking with?
No. Did I see anything with regard to the game? No. Am I going to stick with it? We're working through things like that in the room now.